10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi everyone, this is Antonio, and I want to talk to you about this software that I found for Linux today. I was looking around FlatHub, and as you look around there and you see all the goodies that are out there, there's just so much. And I was looking around and I saw this software. Okay, it's called Fog Panther. And I said, well, what's this? It looks like a drop-in replacement for Adobe Photoshop for Linux. Now, before you all flame me and you say, oh my goodness, it's yet another wannabe drop-in replacement for Photoshop. Well, let me tell you, this one really is special. And I have to tell you, first of all, I'm not being paid anything for this. This is just something I noticed, and I thought I would let people know about what I was able to find. Okay, so yes, they are legit. Again, this is Fog Panther. They're right here on FlatHub, and I did in fact install the Flatpak. And let me just introduce you to the software a little bit. Okay, you go to the website fogpanther.com. Okay, and you'll learn a bit about the software. Let me find it here for you. All right, so there it is. Now, I have to tell you, people, this is paid software. But I have to tell you, this is one piece of paid software that I really do think is worth the money. $69.99, and you have something that works very, very much like Adobe Photoshop, but you own it. Okay, and from what I understand, you can put it on all of your Linux computers, and if you're running a business, then there's a per user license. Okay, but I think for everything this software does, it's quite reasonable. Okay, so they do have a beautiful website and they talk about the different features that are there. They do handle layers very nicely, just like you would expect from Adobe Photoshop. Okay, they even have an online manual. And I've looked over this manual, and I really hope that the author will go even further with this manual and perhaps maybe one day create a nice book that we can learn from. But in any case, there's a lot that can be done here. And again, there's the pricing, $69.99. Okay. And once you buy the software, you own it, including updates for life. Can you imagine that? That's what I'm talking about. We need software that we can use, learn, enjoy, and that will grow with us. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you to the software. Okay, again, Fog Panther. Okay, let me open up the software. Oh, I actually already had it open, but I'm going to close it and reopen it so that you all can see the very nice opening screen. Okay, again, this is a Flatpak. The very first time you open it, it takes a little while to open, but that's just because it has to preload a few things, okay? And don't worry about these things that say that, please wait. This is just because I'm on a machine that is low memory and I'm also doing this recording. So in any case, here is the software, ladies and gentlemen, Fog Panther. Okay? And I'm going to begin by opening up a file, and in fact, I'm going to give you the links to the file that I chose for us to start with. I'm going to give that to you. Now, this is a very common sample PSD file. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Photoshop file. Okay, this was made in Photoshop. Okay, and this has multiple layers. And if you look over here, you see all the layers. These are exactly how the layers would be on Photoshop. Okay, everything's laid out the same. You'll notice that the keyboard shortcuts are the same. They try to make it so that if you're used to using Photoshop, this will be like a drop-in replacement. Okay, so definitely you're going to enjoy that. Again, this is not an in-depth review. This is just my first impression of the software, okay, and just giving you my ideas about how I feel about how the software is working. See how you can just turn on and off layers. Okay, that's very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, you can zoom in. All your tools are right here on the left-hand side, like you would expect. Okay, um, let me see what else here. Okay, and so it does have a very nice uh, edit in quick mask mode. Okay, where you can select something um, very easily, very nicely. Okay, makes masking very easy for you. Okay, and then let's see what else we can show you here. Okay, it has a link to the user guide, and I wish they would actually make the user guide part of the software, but it's not quite. It's just a link to the website, and I guess that's fine for now. Okay, notice they do have a very nice keyboard shortcuts cheat sheet. As you can see from all of these, they're all matched over perfectly to what you would expect from Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so that's definitely important to know. And then let's go back to the software. Okay, and then let's say you have your image and you're ready to save. Well, you click save. In fact, let me exit from this masking mode here. Let me see, I'm still getting a little bit used to the software. Okay, let me turn this off. Okay, and then let me click Save As. Okay, and as you can see, okay, you can go here and look at all the different formats. You have the Fog Panther .fog, you have Open Raster, Adobe PSD, PNG image, JPEG image, AVIF image, WebP, and TIFF. Okay, you just select the one that you want. Okay, we'll stick with Adobe PSD, and if I click replace, it will replace with what was there before. It's going to save right here onto my desktop. I'll probably get an error because the file is open right now. Let me take a look. Nope, it didn't give me an error. It just replaced the file, which is really great. Okay, what more can we say? Um, Let me see if I have any other images that I can open. Okay, I'm looking to see if I have anything important. Let me look on my desktop. I do have an image that I have been working on for a book cover. In fact, this is an SVG file. And I know that I tried earlier before I started this podcast here, and I had trouble opening one of my SVGs. I'm going to try this one and see if it will open. I'll probably get an error, but I'm going to try it anyway. Again, this is really focused on people who are used to using Photoshop. Okay, all right, so it couldn't open my SVG file, which it's not really a big problem for me. I'm sure that's something the author is aware of and is going to be working on fixing anyway. But here's another file I have, which is the standard PNG file. Okay, this is my book cover for my upcoming book. It's for a project I'm working on, the human time system, and that's another issue for another day. Um, Let me see. I'm just going to mess with this image a little bit, see what I can do with it. Okay, see there, it's in its own layer. Okay, very, very nice. Okay. Let me see if it will let me open up a text layer. Okay, yes it will. Okay, and I can go ahead and start typing. All right, let me see if there's anything in that layer. Let me look for it here. Go back to the software here. Okay, let me see. I didn't save it. Okay, all right, so let me save that again. Nope, not there. And then let's see, where is my layer? Okay, my text layer that I just made. Okay, let me go to layers. Okay, okay. Oh, there's my layer that I had before. Okay, let me edit it. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. It's got me on a font, a Liberation Sans font. Okay. And I can actually see the text. It's just really, really small, the font size is. Let me bring up the font size a little bit. See here on the right, I'm bringing up the font size just to give us a little bit of an increase so we can better see what we're doing. Okay, there we go. Let me just type this here. Hello world. Okay, there it is. All right, and then see it's in its own beautiful layer. Okay, perfect. All right, and then um, I'm looking over here. They have this tool here for different channels, you know, red, green, blue. This is very, very nice. Okay, and then if I just want to see the layers, there's a layers tool right here. Okay, and again, this is my original layer. If I turn that off, you see my other layers right there. Okay, and then if I just want to turn off the text layer, okay, there's one of them. Okay, and I had made um, let's see, yeah, there's one text layer I had, and I had put some text on um, this other layer I think I created but didn't label. Okay, that's one of those unlabeled layers. Okay, I guess it disappeared because I didn't save it. But in any case, all right, there it goes. There it goes. There's my background back in place. All right, let me open up another recent document. Okay, and just waiting for it here. Oh, wait, I think it's in another window. Um, okay. Let's see. I've got too many windows open and not enough memory on my computer, so forgive me for this one, people. I think when the memory is low, like how it is on my current computer, the software doesn't want to work the way that I expect that it should work. Okay, so let me go ahead here and let me close it. It will ask me to save, but I'm not going to save. Um, I'm going to discard if it will let me. Again, it's not a problem with the software, it's just the memory on my computer. I need something with more memory. Okay, I don't want to save that because I don't want to mess with my beautiful file that I have here. Okay, okay, it's not gonna let me do anything. Okay, this looks like the software is stuck. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to try to kill the software here. I'm gonna quit this from here. There it goes. I'm going to try to get back to this software. Let me minimize OBS. We don't really need OBS visible right now. Okay, let me go back here to Fog Panther. There we go. All right. Let's open this up a bit. There it goes again. All right. Now, let me advise, I'm not an expert in Adobe Photoshop. It's actually been quite a few years since I used to do a lot of work on it. But it's nice to have a tool that I can use for touch-ups, or to open up um, certain objects that I've created and make, small improvements. Okay, let me see what else I can open up here. So if I click Open Recent, it's going to bring me to other files that I've opened. This is a test PSD file that I got from another website. Okay, and again, this is an actual Adobe Photoshop file with the two layers that come in the file, and turning off one layer, turning on the other layer. Everything is the same, including the names of the layers. Okay, so again, I really do recommend this software, and I'd love to see what you make with it. Again, it's called Fog Panther, and on um, it is on FlatHub, and it's a few other places available also. I don't think the author is going to focus on Windows at all, and to be honest with you, I'm perfectly fine with that. I do like the fact that the manual is right here on the website. I do hope that the author will go further and make a nice illustrated manual. Okay, I think that will help a lot of folks. But yeah, this is something you can really learn on and teach with, to teach the principles of layout, okay, for images, okay, and I really want you all to enjoy it. Again, Fog Panther, and again, this is their website, fogpanther.com. I really think it's the best $69.99 that you could spend if you want something that is similar to Adobe Photoshop. Okay, GIMP is similar, but not quite. This is really at least functions like a drop-in replacement. So it's obviously made by people who have used Photoshop. They know how Photoshop works, and they just want to give us in the Linux world something so that we're not hungry for Photoshop all the time. So again, I think it's a really good investment, and I want to find out what you all build with it. If you all have any problems or anything you want to talk about, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I'm sure the author may look at the video. I hope this is one of the first videos out there about this beautiful new software. Okay, this Fog Panther software. And I know I probably haven't given this software any justice. I'm so sorry, if the author sees this and says, oh my goodness, you could have done a better review. Well, I'm hopeful maybe other people will look at this software and will do even nicer, more in-depth reviews. I really want to see others that really explore the detailed usage of this software. I just wanted to show this to you all, let you all know this wonderful gem that I found. Okay, and so this is Antonio. I'm shutting down the podcast right here. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. All right, and if you like this podcast, if you want to see more reviews of new Linux software, please like and subscribe. Okay, and I will, if I start seeing subscribers, I'll start getting into the pattern of doing, maybe once a week, I would have a piece of software that I want to look at, something new. Because, there's always something new on FlatHub. And, I'm in the Linux world, and yes, there are other app stores, but I really think FlatHub is the best, and they are really focusing on top of the line software. So just watch my podcast from time to time and subscribe. And if I come up with anything new, you all will be the first to know. All right. So I'm going to shut this podcast off right here. All right. So just I hope to hear from you all again soon, and I hope you all are having a great day. This is my very first software review, so I hope it wasn't too bad. Okay? Thank you all so much.